Hi, welcome to the Sleepy River Workshop. Today we're building some creepy columns. Been working on these for a couple days now, and we've learned some things that work and some things that don't work. So we're going to share those with you today. Okay, so you start out with the blocks. Like I said, we got these blocks from Tractor Supply.
Do you go into Tractor Supply and just ask them for foam blocks?
Yeah, what you do, they sell trailers, small trailers, okay?
Okay.
And they put these blocks in between the trailer frames when they stack them. They put the blocks in between the trailer frames when they stack them to keep the trailers from rubbing on each other because they're painted.
Okay.
Well, when they get to the Tractor Supply store, they take them off and set them on the ground level. They don't need these anymore, so they give them away. Yeah. Another thing that I want to mention, we had to drill a hole down through the middle, okay? We drilled, and you drill them individually, because if you wait till they're glued together, you don't have a drill bit that long, okay?
That makes sense.
So you have to drill them individually. Let me show you the drill bit. Hold on. This is it. So this is actually for planting flower bulbs.
Okay.
But it works great on the foam.
Okay.
So what we do is we just mount that into a drill bit, into a drill, and we just drill right through. Okay? So we stack 3 of them up, and to glue them together, we used gaps and cracks. Okay? Great stuff. Okay? And we just squirted, we literally went like this and squirted a ring like that.
Okay.
And then set one on top of the other, and then we put some weight on it, because if you don't put weight on it, this stuff will expand and it'll get all cattywampus. It's a multi-step process because you got a lot of parts that go to these things. So first we got our blocks glued up, and then we're routing out the brick lines on the blocks. So we got 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 2 blocks, 3 blocks.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then Micah's going through with this little Dremel tool on a stand, and he's just routing out the lines to give them some depth. Okay. They don't have to be perfect.
Where's the jig? Where did you get all this from? Or you just had it laying around?
Well, this is just an attachment that you can buy for your Dremel.
What's it called?
It's called a Wizard.
A Wizard?
And I think you probably get it on Amazon if you want to. I got this one at a garage sale.
And it's just a Dremel router attachment?
Yeah. See,
what you would call it?
See, it just unscrews like this. And there's a cap here when you buy your Dremel tool. It'll have or Ran or whatever. It'll have a cap. You take the cap off. And this is pre-threaded. You just thread it up, and that gives you can adjust your depth with this. I've been cutting out this piece and this piece, which is our top and our bottom.
All right.
And I just cut those out of the polystyrene, the pink foam board.
Yep.
And then I cut these out this morning. Also, I cut them out of I have pink foam board that's just 1 inch thick.
Okay.
They got different variations, you know, from a ½ inch to an inch all the way up to like 3 inches, I think.
Right.
So I cut out the 13-inch pieces. I cut them all out, and they're sitting on the table in there. And what we do is when we go to glue them on later, we'll glue them all on, and then I'll take a knife or a hammer and I'll just whack them. Whack off. You don't have to worry about mitering the corners or nothing. You just whack them off, make them look beat up.
It does look good.
Okay. So that's this piece, the bottom piece, and these pieces. Ah! And the next one. That's it. Sticker on there. Yeah, it's already starting to set up. Okay. You gotta go through and pick off the goobies. It's got a couple here and there. No big deal. You just pinch.
And then we had some issues yesterday when we were adding the side pieces.
Yeah, well, we tried CA glue, and because CA glue sticks right now, and unfortunately, CA glue doesn't hold permanently with the styrofoam that we're using. So then we switched over to Gorilla Glue, good old-fashioned Gorilla Glue, and it worked great. Okay, those are solid. These are, see, like that. It just pulled right off, and that's the CA glue. So learned a lesson, used Gorilla Glue. And then we're gonna beat it up and make it look weathered. That's the next step, is we're gonna beat these things up.
Today making the...
So all I'm doing is just carving this to make it look like that one. Getting rid of the sharp edges, basically.
Okay.
Now the other thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use a heat gun and some water.
Okay.
And you spray water in a spot and then hit it with the heat gun, and it'll make the styrofoam melt and kind of look like stone. Yeah.
Let me see what you got going on here.
Just heating them up. How you melt it. Spray with a little bit of water, hit it with the heat gun, and it'll start to, see, it starts to look like stone.
Wow.
Then, these finials I get from Amazon.
Okay.
They're about 75 cents a piece.
I was gonna ask about those.
They're about 75 cents a piece. They're made out of plastic, and a 3/4 inch piece of plywood will fit snugly in there. So we have little nipples, little stubs about that big of PVC pipe. You'll see that later. We attach it to the finial, we drill a hole, put some glue in there, and stick it down in there.
Okay.
A little bit of Gorilla Glue. Put it in the hole, twist it in there, and turn it around the way I want it. So yeah, you want to make sure that the back of the skull is nice and flat so it fits up flush against the column. If there's a bunch of voids in there, then it doesn't stick so well. And then we just go through and reinforce it with a little bit more of this glue, low temperature hot melt glue. And we'll let that set up.
So what's going on?
It's just good old-fashioned painting is all it is. what we did was we mixed dry lock with gray paint, and then we added some flat black to it to darken it up a little bit more. And now we're just going to brush gray on everywhere. And then after we get the gray painted, then we'll go back and do the highlight. After we paint it the base color of gray, then we'll go back in with flat black in the lines, and we'll water that paint down so that it runs a little bit. We want to make it look weathered.